All right. LDBC, this is your boy, Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Combat Sports Show Live. Okay, guys, I want to talk about, a topic that, me as a coach, I definitely can give you guys a lot of expertise on this. And I want to talk about why certain people, they never really reach their full potential. They never really reached it, or they're not reaching it at this current time. And these are just a few fighters that came to my mind, but this is not everybody, okay? So I'm probably sure that you can probably think of some people, who should be on the list. But, I just chose random fighters that I cover. These are people that I've covered very heavily. And I'm going to tell you something, man. These fighters, they got one thing that they share in common. Okay, one thing. They have a strong sense of pride, okay? Every last one of these fighters on the screen, they share a strong sense of pride. And you might even say an ego, okay? Maybe an ego. But it's that ego and that strong sense of pride that's preventing them from reaching their full potential. The first thing that fighters who don't reach their potential, what they do is that they never work on the weaknesses in their game. They never do it. They may appear that they're doing it in the gym, but they don't work on the weaknesses in their game, and they don't execute, okay? Trying to actually attack the weaknesses in their game. They don't do it. And you notice that with these fighters, they do the same things in the octagon. Or in the ring, okay? You don't see them doing anything different, okay? You don't see them doing a lot of things different. You don't see like the increase in their skill set. You don't see it. They come in with the same game plan. Now see, I'm gonna tell you what these fighters too they have in common. A lot of them is that they're so one-dimensional. They're really one-dimensional. And you really, to be honest, people know that how to prepare for these fighters, and they're so one-dimensional. But what's happening is all these other fighters that's got more skill sets, or that's willing to use their skill sets that they have, they're passing these fighters up. They're passing them because the day of the one-dimensional fighter is over, okay? The day of the one-dimensional fighter is over. That's coming to an end. And you're getting a lot of these skilled fighters, man, who coming in, they're emptying the clip and using their tool sets to become great. And these fighters, they're really content. Like they're just satisfied. They're just comfortable being one-dimensional because it's gotten them this far in their life. But, the problem is, and I can go through each one of these fighters and I can talk about them individually, But see, they don't advance. They don't have a desire to go work on the weaknesses. See, me, if I'm a trainer, if I got a wrestler, like say if I had Ronda Rousey, I would have Ronda Rousey, I would have her in amateur boxing. But see, the ego of Ronda Rousey is just too big. Because Ronda couldn't have herself like, hey, I'm Ronda Rousey, and I'm getting pieced up by amateur boxers. No, I can't do that because that would hurt me, But see, the thing of it is, man, do you want to be the best? Or do you just want to be the person that you're assuming that you are the best in every area, and you're not? And y'all saw what happened, okay? Ronda Rousey thought that she was a boxer. She thought she could box, and what happened? What happened when she thought she can box? I mean, she got pieced up. But anybody that had any striking prowess could beat Ronda Rousey. Even today, if Ronda Rousey stood with anybody, okay, if she chose to stand, anybody with any kind of striking prowess would beat Ronda Rousey in a complete stand-up battle. Because that's where she's weak at. But see, Ronda did not want to attack the weaknesses. You even got Holly Holm, great striker. Probably will be one of the best women's MMA fighters to ever go down in history. One of the best, not the best, but one of the best. However, Holly Holm remained one-dimensional. She stayed one-dimensional. And could you imagine if Holly Holm really worked on her ground game when she first started and actually utilized it and got into some Grapple Quest tournaments and did a lot of, could you imagine? Holly Holm would probably be undefeated if Holly Holm had really just worked, her ground game like she worked her striking. She'd be undefeated probably right now, or Holly Holm would probably be damn sure hard to beat, okay? Like you would have to have a hammer and an axe and a nail or whatever to beat Holly Holm. But they were content. You see some of your great fighters, man, some of the greats, they get into little tournaments, man. They get into like miniature tournaments. You had Chris Cyborg who went and grappled. She did grappling tournaments. You had Valentina Shevchenko, did grappling. She did tournaments. I mean, they did that stuff. But that's because they wanted to be the best. You got people that do what they got to do. See, the day of the one-dimensional fighter is coming to an end. And another thing that these people have in common, most of them, they don't take good advice in the corner. Watch these fighters, man. Watch every last one of these fighters. Broner, especially Adrian Broner. Watch these people in the corner, okay? Watch them. And I guarantee you, the trainers are talking to them. They're nodding their head, but they're not listening. See, I've been a coach long enough, and I know when somebody listening and when somebody not listening. These people don't listen to their corners. They don't listen at all. And that's one of their things, man, that they don't listen. Now, I'm not saying Danielle Dynamite Taylor don't listen in the corner, but Danielle Dynamite Taylor, you know, she's been being one-dimensional while she's in the UFC. She's trying to fight an out pattern that's not going to work for her. And, you know, somebody on her team, somebody should have told her that being an out fighter is not going to work. Danielle is going to have to learn how to bang. She's going to have to learn and be an expert at getting in the inside. But see, that's a weakness that, I mean, me evidently, and I like Danielle Taylor, but me evident, you know, it's not evident that she's working on that to do that in the octagon. She's still trying to be an out fighter, which that doesn't work for her. And it's not going to work. She can try to be an out fighter all day. She's too short. She don't have the reach. You got some fighters on this list that they don't want to challenge themselves, and they quitters. More of these fighters, they've quit. Some point in their life, they've quit in something. Okay, they've quit. I mean, you got Nicholas Walters, who had all the promise in the world. All the promise in the world, but the guy quit. He made excuses. You know, I like Nicholas Walters, but the guy quit. And I told everybody, I said, Vasily Lomachenko gonna beat this boy. Vasily Lomachenko gonna beat this boy, and he gonna beat him badly. I told everybody that. Coach, you don't know what you're saying, man. The X-Man is a beast. X-Man, I said, no, man. This dude's gonna get beat. I'm a coach, man. I know when somebody's not mentally there, okay? I know and I understand when somebody is not mentally all there. I can tell you, straight up. And a lot of times these fighters, you got Miesha Tate, will go down in MMA history as an all-time great. I promise you she will. But she was also one-dimensional. And she elected to use her superior wrestling to try to get her through fights. And it worked for most of the time. But then when she rolled up on a couple of well-rounded fighters, or she rolled up on somebody who can negate her wrestling and Ronda Rousey, guess what happened? What's up, man? Guess what happened? She lost. That's just how it is. When you one-dimensional, you can't do nothing. You got to be multi-dimensional. You got to be multi-dimensional. But that's what happened, man. She freaking lost, man. She lost. See, you'll beat somebody who can strike better than you. But if your ground game sucks, guess what? You can't go to your striking and you can't go to the ground. So you're neutralized. There's nothing that you can do. There's not one iota of a thing that you can do when you're neutralized. But the one-dimensional fighter don't get that. Because they will always go to what's comfortable. And they're gonna do what's comfortable until it doesn't work. And when it don't work, they're looking around for answers. And these are answers that they're never gonna get. Because they don't listen. They still do the same thing. You got Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern. You know, Mackenzie Dern, I give her a little credit. At least she's trying to stand with people instead of using her BJJ, which is like superior. She's trying to stand, but she like discipline. Mackenzie Dern don't work the craft enough to be great. She don't. And maybe when she get older, all that'll change. You know, Mackenzie Dern drink, she party, she at the beach. You know, this girl not putting the work in to make herself great. She ain't doing it. But Mackenzie Dern at least will try. But see, now there's an aspect why, you know, coach, she's 7-0. I'm telling you, that's gonna come to an end. Mackenzie Dern gonna get laid out. Somebody gonna stretch out. She will get stopped. Because Mackenzie Dern is completely one-dimensional. And she don't have to be one-dimensional. Mackenzie don't have to be at all. But she chooses to when she don't get in there and work her craft. Megan Anderson is very one-dimensional. We saw that. We proved it. But I was telling y'all that for a long time. I was trying to tell everybody that. One-dimensional. Megan can strike. And I still stand by what I said, that Megan Anderson did better on her feet than Holly Holm. I will stand by that. I can sure break up the video to prove to you that she did when they were standing. And Holly Holm didn't want to do that. But Megan Anderson, you know, she talks the talk, walks the walk. But she's one of those people, you know, it appears to me that she's not doing what she need to do. Spend too much time on social media going back and forth with trolls. It is what it is, okay? Who else am I missing? And Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner, worse than everybody on the list. This dude don't listen. This dude don't handle criticism. This guy does the same thing. He don't let his hands go. This guy's a mental wreck. This guy's delusional. I mean, he's everything. This guy is a walking means of failure. Now, not financially. Financially, you know, he's doing very well. But will he go down in history as one of the greats? No. No, because he's not willing to address, he don't know how to take criticism. He's not willing to address that. He's not willing to be coachable. The guy don't listen. You look at him in the corner. He's not listening. He's sitting there, got this goofy ass look on his face. And he's looking around in circles like nobody. And the coach means nobody. Nobody can coach that kind of athlete, man. You can't do it. It's impossible. And I should have added Sergey Kovalev to this list. Kovalev don't train hard. Kovalev don't listen to his trainers. And Kovalev think he know everything. That's why Kovalev been getting beat up as of late. That's why the guy been getting his butt whooped, because he's not coachable. And see, you have it. And you got Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin, it's not even working hard. And it's not even listening to his coaches. Gennady Golovkin just don't want to test himself. He's not big on that. Like, they just fought Vanes Martirosyan. Are you serious? A guy that's been out for over 2 years and lost his last fight? Triple G had all these other options, y'all. He had all these other options to fight other people. And he could have did it. I mean, he had the opportunity, but he chose a guy like Vanes Martirosyan. Why? Vanes Martirosyan does nothing for your legacy. I don't even think the payday, you know, who's Vanes? Maybe, he had a chance to fight Billy Joe Saunders. He had a chance to fight one of the Charlos. There were people offering their services. Deryanchenko, nah, turned all those guys down to fight Vanes Martirosyan. Triple G don't even want to dare to be great, man. That's why. And I'm telling you, man, Triple G and everybody know that when Gennady Golovkin face one of these young guys, man, face one of these guys that ain't afraid to go to him, okay? Like Danny Jacobs, who was robbed. He got in there with a young, athletic guy like Danny Jacobs who put them hands on him. Triple G don't want that no more. He don't want that no more. But it is what it is, man. A lot of fighters got an ego problem. You can't teach them nothing. They don't like criticism. They don't want you to tell them nothing, but they want you to help them. And they want to do it under their own merit. That's why some of these fighters, man, they never reach their full potential. And I'm not saying that they're failures, no. Because these fighters on this list, they can do more than any of us, okay? Guys, I've had to cut weight before. I've gotten hit in the face. I've broken my nose. I've hurt my back, you know. I've bruised elbows. My shins. Guys, all of that stuff. I understand what they're thinking, man. Being a fighter is tough, guys. This is not a lifestyle, to be honest, for everybody. People can't hack it. Being a fighter is tough. It's very tough, man. And you know, most fighters, you know, they depress people. You know that the majority of the fighters, they're very, very, very depressed. They're usually not very happy people in their personal lives. I know for a fact, man. I know some fighters. I know some. They not happy. They don't even care. Man. Yeah, if y'all only knew how many fighters they got to go to psychological therapy. If you only knew how many fighters got to go to family counseling. How many kids, all these fighters with these kids, man. Their kids got to go to therapy, man, every week. Because they can't deal seeing their parents or their dad getting beat up in the ring or the octagon. Being a fighter, it's a strain on a fighter and it's a strain on his family. But if you're going to do something like that, if you're going to put your family out there, and if you're going to put that on the line, you got to be the best that you can be. And some of these people on the list, many of these people on the list, they're not willing to work on their weaknesses, and they're not willing to put their egos aside to be the best. You guys tell me what you think. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harris. What are you waiting on? Subscribe to the best women's MMA platform on YouTube.